I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules today. So the good news is we have 26 schools that are going to be participating in the Eta Sigma Delta virtual induction ceremony on Saturday, April 10th. So with that, we have a little over 300 students that are going to be inducted that day in the ceremony. So I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to go over the program with you and more importantly, some of the processes along the way to help ensure that we have everything we need prior to the event. We'll start with end in mind here. So on Saturday, April 10th at 12 noon Eastern time is when the induction ceremony will begin. Knowing that we have so many students, we're going to try to start promptly that day, right at 12 noon. Basically how this is gonna go is we're gonna have an introduction from either Ruth Lee or the president of ICRE, Joy Dickerson. We'll go into the 6 points of honor, a virtual candle lighting ceremony. We'll have 1 or 2 keynote speakers for the event, and then we're going to break out into each individual college. So with that said, all the faculty advisors that are on the call, plus some that will be watching this, the recording, there's certain things that we're going to need from you prior to that, and also to help ensure that payment is made to CRE and done in the right ways, just so we're able to keep all this straight. Again, so once we get into the individual colleges and universities, we'll ask the faculty advisors from each one to read off the names of their respective students. Either Kim Williams or I will be introducing the faculty advisors from each school, and then you'll go in and introduce. I'll show you a little bit later what it's going to look like for the students, what the actual slideshow is going to look like. So I wanted to start with the email that went out last week, and I wanted to help alleviate any confusion. There was an email that was sent out prior in December, and the December email was trying to gauge feedback on how many schools were interested in participating. It wasn't only meant to be the timeline as much for all the deliverables leading up to the event. And we've had several changes along the way, most notably with regards to how the payment was going to work for this for some of the students that are going to be paying ICRE directly. For some of the schools, they pay into the student organization and they cut one check to ICRE. And some are different where the students individually send checks or parents send checks. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page with regards to that. All right. Okay. If anybody has any questions, they just put them in, either hold them till the end or put them in the chat room, and Kim will, at that point, will read them off after I get through each section. So a couple of changes this year. First is that the Eta Sigma Delta application form is a fillable form. So we have, I'll show you here. Students are able to fill this in now and sign. We have the check boxes here for their respective where they are within the university. The student signature of the applicant, if they can sign there, if not, just type it in and the date. All of these should go to the faculty advisor first. I don't know if that's how you've done it in the past, but just so that the faculty advisor has an idea of how many students are going to be have actually accepted the invitation to join, and but they're all going to be processed through the faculty advisor. And then if you could either sign this or print and save it as a PDF and send them all at once, it's fine. A lot of the faculty advisors will print all of them off, sign them, scan it as one document and send it to Kevin and I free. Either is fine. But we just want to make sure that we're not piecemealing it to everybody, and especially to Kevin, and that they have a good idea of how many are going to be coming from each school. We also have this form that was sent out, and this is to serve a couple of different purposes. First, it's going to be for us, the people who are putting together the program, to ensure that we have everybody in one spot, we haven't missed anyone. It's also going to be important for Kevin at I-CRE to ensure that all of the names are listed. Now we are, like I said in the email, we're able to mail them directly to the students now, but that is really, in most cases they're sent to the faculty advisor and they're distributed at school. We would still strongly prefer that it's done that way, but in some instances where either you're not allowed back on campus, or there might be an international student who, or there might be some students here and there that they need to be sent directly to their home. They will do that from I-CRE, but we're trying to limit that in order to get everything out in time. What we request with this form is that you just fill in the form with the college, university, your name and contact information. Would you like the shipment of the cords, pins, and certificates sent to you or to the home address? Again, we would prefer it to go to the faculty members, but just put in there whether you would where you would like that to go. If it's going to be going to a faculty advisor's home address, if you want to just put that in the just write advisor in the top tab here. This way we know where it's going to go. If it's going to be going to your respective universities or to your homes, just let us know there so we know who to send those to. Again, it's going to save a lot of time and resources to have them sent and distributed from the faculty advisors. Just please let us know if there's any extenuating circumstances in which you won't be able to get those out, and then Kevin will send those out. There was one question in the chat room about sophomores. First off, did everyone see the screen with the, are you looking at the form now, correct? Okay, good. Next question was, are eligibility requirements changed? Sophomores now eligible? The short answer is no, I don't believe. I don't know why that's on the form, but just they have to be at least halfway done with their in their bachelor program in order to be eligible for Eta Sigma Delta. So again, I don't know why that's on there. It should just be juniors, seniors. But
Tim,
yes.
is that possibly because you have some students now transferring in with so many hours that they could potentially be, that's the only thing I'm thinking. They're earning college credit in high school.
That could.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We need Ruth for that one.
Yeah,
I'll text Ruth. I'll ask Ruth.
All right. Now, so this form should be sent with all of the completed applications to Kevin, and you're going to want to copy the two emails, both Kim Williams and myself, were on the planning committee for this event. So we definitely need to get this this form as well. And in it is the student's name, mailing address, school email, their overall GPA, and then at the end is a Venmo or check payment. Now, Kevin and I-CRE set up a Venmo account for the students, which we'll get into here very shortly. And that Venmo account, students can directly send their payments to I-CRE, but we want to be really careful that he has this form first. Otherwise, he's going to be receiving payments for something he doesn't know. So that's why we're trying, like right now, to hold off on the payments, and then we're opening up a window in early March for that. Let me just minimize this. Anybody have any questions up to this point?
Just a comment.
Yes, sir.
I did put on the Venmo itself that each student paying for ESD ceremony would have to include their name of the school and the actual student that is being inducted, because if Venmo is not always coming from the person that's actually being inducted, or their payment will be returned. So that's how we're going to handle it. If they get a payment returned right back, they'll have a note telling them that they need to give us their school and their name.
Okay. And Paul just wrote a question about he did not collect personal email, and that's totally understandable. Some of you I know have sent some of you have written me that you sent the previous forms out, and that's okay. The only caveat to that is that if it doesn't have the space for their home address on there, if they need to be sent to their home addresses, it's not on the old form. So you'll need to put that either written on the form or in the spreadsheet, and indicate that it's going to be sent to the student's home. Just communicate that to Kevin so that they know that they're going to be sending those directly to the students. But it's okay if they don't have if they've already filled out the previous form, that's okay. All right. Along those lines, if they've already sent you a check or payment to the advisor, that's fine too, as long as it's all going up to Kevin in an organized manner. So all the payments there and the forms and the spreadsheet, everything's going to be fine. So we did extend it a little bit for you to notify possible inductees into Eta Sigma Delta. So feel free to send that out. We have until the end of the month to get those that were requesting that they get to you, so that you can send them to Kevin by March 1st. So we recommend a February 26th deadline at the latest. We know a lot of students like to wait to the last minute, so this way it'll ensure that you're able to meet that March 1st deadline. As soon as Kevin has the spreadsheet and the forms in hand, it's in that point then we'll be able to start taking payment for that. So we're going to be opening up the payment window from March 1st to March 10th. And that'll give the students an opportunity to either mail the check in. Sometimes it's their parents sending in for the students. They just make sure to write the name of the student in there, what college. And that way he can keep everything straight on the master spreadsheet. What we're going to be doing is combining that spreadsheet. We're going to be putting those all into one master sheet with 300 students on it, broken out by school. So we'll be able to keep track of everything. So again, March 1st or March 10th will be the deadline for the payment.
Tim,
Yes.
Nicole is asking, is it $30 or $35? She noticed on the form that it states the check is $30, but the old form said $35.
It's 35.
I don't remember being 30.
It was 30 very, very long time ago.
Okay.
Like more than 10 years.
Okay. All right. So yes, it'll be 35.
Okay, because I just noticed that form you emailed out to us, it says 30 on the bottom.
Is that the one that came from Godwin?
The email that was sent out on the 4th.
Well, I'll be damned.
I just noticed that.
All right. So we'll get another form sent out to you. It should be $35. I don't know how that happened. It got past me. Kevin, any thoughts on that? If students have some students already sent in for $35 or for $30?
No. We haven't received anything regarding the mass induction yet. We received one check and one application from one student that was not signed by the faculty advisor, and we've reached out to that faculty advisor to figure out how to handle the situation.
Okay. So I'm going to make this change today and resend this form out to everyone so that you have it. Okay. We made the change about Canada and Botswana and Malaysia and everything else, but apparently the $30 should not have changed. So I will get that I'll get that out to everyone very soon here.
Kim, one more thing about the form.
Yes.
Do you want to add the student's GPA to the fillable form? Kim asked that question.
That is a part of what we input into the system when we keep records, the GPA.
All right, so if the advisor has that, I'm sure they're going off a preliminary list when they're sending those out. They can always, could they just input that into the spreadsheet and send that up instead of it being on the form? Or could they just write it
For
on
this
the form?
particular instance, yes, I guess so. We'll just enter them all at one time off the form.
Okay, or if you want, or if the advisors want, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. It just said, like, I would have to now look up 30-something students myself. If they didn't put it on there, so it is nice to have it on there and then we can double check. If that makes sense.
Sure, or we could just write the, or for right now, I guess we could write those on here.
And if they're
I know,
not, if
I
it's
think I know
not,
why they took that off. They took it off because they changed the bigger, better criteria on the bullet points here in the middle of the form. So it's not all on a 4.0 scale, and some are the European credit transfer and accumulation system. I don't know why it's not on there, but yeah, whatever works for you, Kevin, we'll do.
well, I mean, it's just a field that we currently record, but if it's something that is not necessary for this particular exercise, then we won't record that in the student record.
Okay. Again, if advisors want to put it within the spreadsheet that's been provided to everyone, that'll be fine too. They just enter them in there, and that's going up to Kevin anyway, so that way you'll still have that, okay? And that'll give us some time to play around with this form and get it correct for the next time. So, go ahead.
I know Tim keeps saying Kevin a lot, and I'd like to take credit for doing everything, but Shayna will be working with me. So the best email address to send things to is esd@cree.org. And that is where everything will be centralized. And Shayna Wilson will be handling that email coming in. But if you guys wanted to copy me like you're copying the other people, that would be fine.
Okay. All right, again, we'll get back to this form and I'll make the change at the bottom, the $30, so that doesn't confuse anyone. All right. So again, timeline by March 1st, all the forms in the spreadsheet is forwarded to Shayna at esd@cree.org. And that in the spreadsheet. March 1st through 10th is when they'll be accepting the Venmo payments or checks. The Venmo, I will send an email to everyone in the next week or so. I don't want to bombard it to everyone right now, just to give you some time between the students signing up and just so none of the payments came prior to the forms and the spreadsheets. So that'll be going out in the next week. We are asking that the students by March 21st, that all the faculty advisors send student pictures or professional headshots for the slideshow to the virtual induction ceremony committee. That consists of Kim, Han, and myself. And let me show you exactly what we're going to be doing with that. So like we did here at the, can everyone see that right now? Okay. So basically what we'll do is for each school, like I said, we will introduce the faculty advisor, and then you will call your students' names alphabetically. And we have the student's name as it appears on their certificate. If they're junior, senior, graduate student, and then your school, and then we will put a copy of their certificate. So it's going to be, just a few seconds for each student, but we're able to recognize them. But we will need those professional headshots sent by March 21st in order to be able to put the show together. Now we will send all of this in a recap, and like I said, next week. within the next 2 weeks, we'll send both an itinerary, the run of the show for the event, so the program, so everyone has that, so you can send it to the students and forward it on. That will be hopefully by the end of the month. That will go out. That will have the link for the Zoom for the event, as well as information about each school that's participating. It'll highlight our keynote speakers and everything else. And then we'll get to the event. There'll be more information coming your way about the actual run of the show when it comes to each individual school who's going to be introducing their students. And then that takes us to the day of the event. The majority of this is going to be taped in advance. The keynote speakers, everything that we can do in advance, we can just in advance in hopes of not having any computer issues or issues with people being able to connect to internet, anything. We're going to try to pre-record everything. So basically that day will just be a hopefully just hitting play and for most of the event, not all of it. Immediately after the event, shortly thereafter, there'll be a post-event survey going out to all Eta Sigma Delta inductees and faculty advisors. And like I said, there'll be more information coming to you in the next couple of weeks about the actual program and keynotes and your role in the event. But I just want to make sure to go over all the important forms that were and timeline for those prior to before we got too far into this. So with all of that being said, does anybody have any questions up to this point?
Tim, I'm not certain if we answered Heather's question or not, that she used the old form. Is that okay?
Well, the old form is fine. The old form is fine. I know I've received a few emails on that. That's no problem at all. The only thing is if it's going to be sent individually to the students to their homes, there's not a spot, there's not a space on there for their home address. So if it's the case where they were going to be sent to the students' homes, that's where you need to contact Shana and ESD at cree.org in order to ensure that they're going to the right place.
There's 2 more questions that came in. Do we need to try to complete a service project this year?
Given the circumstances that we're in, I would not put to. I know we're not even really meeting in person here at the University of Memphis. We're doing most of our things, most of our instructions online, except for our labs. So I would leave that up to your individual schools, and I would not focus too heavily on that or put too much emphasis or pressure in yourself to be able to have to do a service project.
Okay, and one more thing. How long do you anticipate the event will last?
I anticipate about 1 hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, given the amount of students that we have being inducted. We're going to have probably, like I said, 1 or 2 keynote speakers who are going to be addressing, who are going to be giving talks. I'd say within 1 hour 45, it should be done. We want to make this a special event for the students, so that's why we have some great speakers who are going to be who are coming to speak to the students, and that's why this whole thing was done, knowing that we put together a virtual induction ceremony last year, and it was a lot of time and resources that went into just our school for doing 20, inducting 30 students. So I was really happy this year that the ESD Board of Governors got behind this, and we said this whole thing is being done to help you as the faculty advisors be able to have an induction ceremony and not have so much pressure and stress on you. So this is really done for all of you, and we hope that your students feel special. They feel like they've recognized for their academic achievements, and we're doing everything we can to make it a special event for them.
All right, one more about the headshots. Are there resolution minimums or size requirements? And should the individual images be named with their names?
About the resolution, I'm gonna have to get with you on that. I will send that information out to everyone shortly. I'll have to do a little bit of work on that. We just had students, some were sent, some were really high resolution, some were clearly taken with an iPhone. So I'm not sure what the actual resolution was for that, but I will get that to everyone. I'll send a group email to everyone very shortly, once I'm able to get that, hopefully soon. And yes, they should be labeled with the students' names though. So hopefully it'll be in the same, I know it's going to be difficult to sometimes send a lot of pictures at once, so we'll have to play around with it. If I have to get them by Dropbox or Microsoft Teams or however I have to do that, that's fine. A lot of students were sending them to my phone last year. There's a lot of ways around this, which we'll work with you on. I have 2 students here at the University of Memphis who are interning this year, and they're helping me with this event. We're going to be putting a lot of time into it. So I will work with them, and we're going to be matching everyone up to their respective college, and hopefully right name to the right, the right person, which I have no doubt about that. But we're going to want to get this to you. We're going to have it done early so we can get it to you well in advance of the event. This way you know how you're going to be introducing the students and get some practice with that prior to the day of the event. So, does anybody else have any questions right now? Okay. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I know there was a lot of information that came out early, so I really appreciate everyone's time and commitment to helping make this a success. Like I said earlier, I will work on this form and get that out to everyone. Thank you for picking up on that. I'll make sure to get that to everyone shortly. And thank you to Shana and Kevin at iCree for helping to make this help everything run seamlessly here, especially Dr. Kim Williams from UNT and Han Wen. Thank you very much. Again, if anybody has any questions, you have all my contact information there. Please feel free to reach out to me. All right. Have a great
Thank you,
day.
Tim.
All right.
Thank you for leading us. Thank you.
Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.